Hello and greetings. On this video, I'll show how to set up a SoftEther VPN. We're going to set up the server and the client. So let's go ahead and jump in. Over here, I have a Windows 7 and a Windows 10 computer. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the Windows 7 to be the server and the Windows 10 to be the actual client. So let me go ahead and move this out of the way. And let's make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to end up doing is we're going to go to SoftEther.org. So SoftEther.org. Okay, so here we're going to go straight to the downloads. Okay, so download SoftEther VPN. And right here, download SoftEther VPN. Okay. And we're going to be greeted by, what we're going to download. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select the SoftEther Server Manager for Windows. Then the platform is going to be Windows. And I should be able to, here it is right here. So it's the very first one. So let's go ahead and click on it. We're going to save it. And we're going to let it download. Okay, so the download is complete. What we're going to do now is going to close our browser. And now I'm going to navigate to my download folder. But before we go too far, we need to get the IP of this computer. So let's go ahead and open our command prompt. So I'm going to go to start cmd. Okay, and then IP config. And my IP address is, I'm looking at the last octet, 130. So 130 is going to be the server. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm ready to execute this. So I'm just going to double click on it. And we're going to go ahead and run. Let me close this so it's not in the way. Okay, so now once we're greeted by the actual installer, we're going to click on next. And it's going to tell you, a warning. Click on yes. So once you're greeted by this section, you're going to go ahead and select SoftEther VPN server. Click on next. And if you agree to their terms and conditions, put the check mark on agree and click on next. And click on next. So this would be the location that's going to install. So defaults are fine. Click on next. And it's ready to install. Click on next. And now we let it install. Okay, so now you can see it's installed. You go ahead and click on finish. Okay, so once it starts, you're going to be greeted by this piece right here. What we're going to do, we're going to highlight this and click on edit. Okay, so here it's going to be what the host ID or the host name is going to be. We're going to keep it at host name, or we just enter the IP, which is 192.168.1.130. Oops, 130. And we're going to use for this example, we're going to use port 5555. The site name, I'm going to call this VPN. Okay. And then here at the bottom right, I'm going to go ahead and put a password. And press OK. So once that's done, you'll notice that now everything changed. Click on connect. And then it's going to ask you for the password. At the very beginning, the password is blank. So we're going to press OK. And then it's going to ask you for your new password. So now I'm going to enter my new password. Press OK. And now everything got changed. Once we're here, it's going to ask you how you want to set up your unit. I'm going to set up a typical setup where you are going to be setting up a VPN server at either at your place of business or at your house or whatever you're going to do. And you're going to be connecting through VPN clients remotely into the facility, either being your house or business. So I'm going to go ahead and select the very top one, remote, and press next. The answer here would be yes. And then the name of the hub is going to be called VPN, or maybe you could call it home, or the name of your business, or the name of your customer. I mean, it really is whatever you want. Click on OK. And now here, it's going to generate your dynamic DNS if you want. I'm not going to use this, so I'm just going to go ahead and exit. Here you could also set up to enable the L2TP over IP. That works well for a lot of different devices, and also enable the LPT for server function. It's really up to you if you want to set that up ahead of time. If you're going to be interacting with higher end firewalls, it's here. You don't need to set that part up. I mean, this is just optional. So we're going to click on OK. And then I'm going to bypass this, but if you want the service to be relayed through their service, you can enable or disable it. I'm going to disable it and press OK. I just want to get through this whole thing. Now, at this point, you're going to be created by, you're going to be greeted by create a user. You do have to set up a user, at least one user. So I'm going to click on create. And my username is going to be client1. I just have a habit of setting up just as a habit. I'll set up different certificates, client1, client2, client3, or the name of the client, whatever it is. I mean, but that's really however you want to do it. And this is going to be client1 for my case. So then once you enter the client, then you're ready to move on to creating the certificate. So here we're on the right, we're going to go ahead and click on create certificate. And now here, if you notice, the name is going to be client1. Organization, I'm going to call this freelancetech.com. The unit is going to be the IT department. Country is going to be US. State is going to be Texas. Location is going to be Houston. And that's it. We're going to press OK. And I'm going to select to save it as an X509 certificate. And I'm also going to put a phrase. Okay. Now the phrase is optional. I do recommend it. It's just an extra set of security. So it's not, but it's up to you. I would recommend putting a phrase. Press OK. And now the certificate itself, I'm going to call it client1. So I just keep it consistent. The key, you notice, is already going to be called client1. Save that. And the certificates are done. So now that piece is done. Now we can go ahead and press, if you notice, it's already done, client1. We're going to go ahead and save it by pressing OK. Client1 has been created. And here it is. Okay. Now we can go ahead and exit this. And now we're going to select which network card we're going to use. I'm going to select the internal one. Okay, and we're going to press close. Now this is actually running, and if you notice the ports that are listening, I recommend just opening one port and keeping that one port open. Don't keep a bunch of them open. But that's just my suggestion. So now we're ready with this part. Now we need to get that certificate over to your client. So remember, I went to my documents. So here's my 2 certificates. So I need to somehow get these 2 certificates over to either my thumb drive or my customer, emailed, or whatever you're gonna do. But this is what you need to give to your customer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna transfer it over to my flash drive. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring over our Windows 10. So I already loaded this thing, those client or the keys. I already loaded them on this computer. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so here's the 2 certificates. Okay, I mean the key and certificate. So what I'm gonna do now is go back to that softether.org. Okay, and then we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to softether.org. And again, what we're going to do is click on download. And we're going to download SoftEther VPN. Then here we're going to select component. Now we're going to download the client. Platform is going to be Windows. And it's x86. And here it is right here. Click on it. We're going to let it download. Okay, there it is, wrapping up the download. Okay, so that's done. Now we can actually close this out. And we're going to go to our download folder. And here it is right here. So, and I could switch it over to a larger view. So here it is. All I'm going to do is just double click on it. Now remember, this would be either on your client computer that you're going to remotely connect, or your customers, whatever. I mean, however you're going to be setting up the VPN. Okay, let me close this so that can run. Okay, and then we're going to click on next. And we're going to do just the client. That's all we need. Click on next. If you agree to the terms, I agree. And next. And if you agree to all this, I recommend dumping it on the default location, but that's really up to you. Click on next now. And next. And let it install. Okay, once that's done, we're going to go ahead and leave the check on. And you know what? Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, that would be better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on finish. So then you're going to be greeted by the actual manager here. What you're going to do is double click on add VPN connection. Double click on it. Then it's going to tell you that you don't have no VPN connection set up. So that if you want to set up an adapter, press yes. The name of it is going to be VPN or whatever you want. Press OK. And then you let it generate an adapter. Okay, and now if you notice, it generated an adapter with a MAC address and everything. Now we're ready to add a VPN connection. Double click on it. And I'm going to call this under the site name, or settings name, excuse me. I'm going to call it client 1 because it's going to be connecting to the actual client. Now under host name would be either the site name, meaning you know, vpn.mycompany.com or whatever, the WAN IP that you need to connect to. On my case, I'm going to type in just IP 130. That's my server. Then I'm going to select the port, which is, remember, it's 555. So then the next thing you're going to do is you are going to go ahead and select what kind of certificate you're going to do. So we're going to client certificate authentication. Remember we did the name was client 1. And then we're going to specify where the client certificate is. So we're going to click on that. And remember how I dumped it on the desktop? There it is right here. So you would navigate either to your download folder or wherever the file is. Click on open. And then where the key is. Remember I dumped it also on the desktop? There's the key. And then the phrase, remember? Enter the phrase that you set up ahead of time. And press OK. Once we got that going, we're going to press OK. And now you notice we're offline. So let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Okay. So we can actually see both computers running at the same time. Okay. So all you're going to do is right click to this and click on connect. If you notice it's connecting, it's negotiating, it authenticated, and now the VPN is actually kicking in with 209. Now we're connected. Now we're physically connected to this VPN server. You can notice now the sessions 1, we're online and there's no errors. We're actually literally on the VPN through this other computer here. So just remember to open the right ports. Other than that, you're up and running. Again, all that good jazz. Subscribe, thumbs up, and hopefully this helped. Thanks a lot.